Welcome everyone back to game number 3 between HellRaisers and Kinguin. HellRaisers taking game 1 quite convincingly, and Kinguin coming back in game number 2 playing extremely well. I mean, off the back of Nisha's Monkey King, they completely dominated in the early game. They got the lead that they needed, and giving Necro enough time to get up his Radiance, get up his items, and HellRaisers didn't really have anything to counter. They didn't have anything to deal with that Necro towards the mid stage of that game, and that just gave Kinguin the game. But this is, of course, game 3. Now, as a caster, I was hoping Kinguin would win game 2 so that I can cast game 3. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be interesting. The game is already quite underway. They picked and banned quite fast here, so let's just jump straight into it. Night Stalker being banned out, as well as Nyx yet again here for HellRaisers. This time Kinguin taking out the Necro and the Nature's Prophet, once again leaving Ancient Apparition and Lich in the pool, both Lich being picked up as well as a Clockwork by HellRaisers. So if this game is going the way that we've seen, the team with the Clockwork seems to win. So let's see if that's going to be the case again. Lich and Clockwork being picked up by HellRaisers, Ancient Apparition and Veno. Veno yet again being picked up by Kinguin, not being banned out during the first phase. Is this going to be a Nisha Veno, or is this going to be a Patos Veno? It's, well, yeah, it's going to be a Nisha Veno. We can still see. Darkshire being picked up by HellRaisers. Once again, that combo Darkshire, Clockwork, Lich. That's exactly what they did during game 1. It worked so well for them. Let's see if they have any other kind of follow-up to go with this. Are we just going to see that same old Storm Spirit into Lifestealer again from HellRaisers? The exact same thing like we saw in game number 1. Kinguin this time pick up the Rubik, something to try and counter with the spell casting ability from HellRaisers up. With the Lich, if the Rubik can actually steal Chain Frost, if the Rubik can steal the Cogs, the Surge, the Iron Shell from the docks here, there's a lot of things Rubik can steal here. So it's a very good hero to actually have for the side of Kinguin. But the next pick, I mean, well, we actually haven't gone through the rest of the band so far, so let's do that first. Another Nisha hero being banned out in regards with the Phantom Lancer, maybe thinking that they could throw the Veno still in the offlane role, safe lane, having Nisha run. Oh, okay, we'll get to that pick just now. Anyway, Phantom Lancer being banned out as well as Tusk. This time, Kinguin deciding to take out the Enigma as well as a Batrider. Batrider being taken out, being picked or banned so far as well, I think in both the previous games. And that Enigma was one of the strong points here for HellRaisers in game number 1. This time being taken out, so you don't have that follow-up. If the Clockwork gets the hook shot off and Kinguin decide to counter-engage on there was, of course, that secondary engage coming through from the Enigma. This time they won't have that ability. Like I said, Darkshire picked up Rubik, and now it's the Chaos Knight. So far, every game up against Kinguin, Chaos Knight has been banned out. So it's interesting to see this time it wasn't, and it was just instantly picked up by Kinguin. Well, not instantly, but picked up by Kinguin. So is this going to be Exotic Deer on the Chaos Knight? Seems to be one of those heroes that he's well known for, being banned out constantly up against them throughout the course of the day. And HellRaisers pick up the Ember Spirit. So yet again, going with this Ember, believing in this Ember. And Monkey King being counted up here by, or, taken out here by Kinguin. I mean, they could have picked it up themselves, and yeah, but that would have caused a lot of shifting around in regards with hero positioning. But okay, Monkey King being banned out, HellRaisers, it's their turn to pick a hero now. What is their core going to be? It's going to be, I mean, are we going to see something more old school like the Sven coming out here, or are they going to go with a carry Void to try and combo with that? The problem is they have so many melee heroes or melee heroes on the side of HellRaisers. It's going to be very difficult for that Void to actually place his Chronos properly. To be honest, I like a Sven here for the side of HellRaisers. Sure, it's a lot more tank in your face. Up against CK can help a little bit with clearing the illusions because they're going to struggle. Let's check here.
10 seconds remaining.
What's the next pick gonna be?
5 seconds.
HellRaisers, they have to pick their position 1. Of course, Ember can still run in that position 1 if need be. And it's going to be a void. So it's a very difficult game because, you know, your positioning on your chrono, especially if your team starts the engage, you're going to have 2 or 3 heroes that are on top of Kinguin already. So you need that void to lead the charge. You need that void to be in front. You need the void to start the engage, get a good chrono, split up the fight, and then that will allow your Ember Spirit to actually pick off, you know, a hero. The Let's Chain Frost to be bouncing in the back line of the fight inside of the chrono, and you also need the Clockwork to get a good initiation. So between the Faceless Void and the Clockwork, the problem though is if you get anyone in your team trapped inside of that chrono. You have Ancient Apparition, you have a Veno, you have a Rubik that will be attacking from outside of the chrono if you don't catch the Veno. And Veno, to be honest, can kill a Clockwork quite easily, especially early on. If this is going to be a core Veno, of course. Depending on what kind of Veno this is. Nope, it's not going to be Nisha Veno. It's going to be Nisha Viper. This is a very strong draft coming through from the side of Kinguin. I actually like it a lot. Let's check here. Making sure everything is going good on chat, of course. Thanks so much, guys, for joining. As always, I'm always open to constructive criticism. Let me know. Drop me a direct message. Hit me up on Twitter at RedditDota. Hashtag shameless plug, I think. And once again, a big shout out to Beyond the Summit for letting me cast these games. And Cap, if you're listening, you were literally 5 seconds late in saying that you want to jump in and cast. It would have been an honor to cast with you, but I think we'll make an arrangement for next time. I'd really want to, but let's check. Let the game start, and let me just quickly get a drink of water before game number 3 starts. There you go. So Kinguin this time going for a very similar kind of draft that they played in game, I think it was 2 versus Mousesports. HellRaisers, I'm not quite sold with the draft. It's a very strong draft, but to me it feels like they're lacking a little bit in damage. Unless, of course, the Ember Spirit gets a very good start. Faceless Void gets a very good start. They have pick-off potential. They can, you know, do a lot to like 1 or 2 heroes. But if Kinguin actually just decides to start 5-manning, I don't see where HellRaisers' damage is going to come from around the 20-minute mark unless they steamroll. I might be wrong. I might be mistaken. What do you guys think on chat? Let me know. Drop a message or 2 if you think I'm being noob in regards to saying that. Say, this caster, man, Kappa face. Let's see. Smoke up here from 4 heroes for the side of Kinguin. They have a much better level 1 fight. And they might just run straight in, you know, smack into Faceless Void. Doubt they'll be able to kill him. They actually do have enough lockdown, possibly. Will they get the lift? There's the lift coming through. Another stun in, and Faceless Void. He manages to get out of that. There's the first time walk, and just being like, okay. This will, of course, mean they do get the dire side, or not the dire, the Radiant bounty rune as well as their own bounty rune. It might just be a 2-for-2 split. Let's see. Patos once again on this Veno. Patos played this Veno quite well in my opinion in game number 1 as well as game number 2 versus, I think, both of them. I'll actually have to have a look. I think both of them versus Mouseport and Rubik. Wants to go in for a courier snipe, but Lich will be the courier for now. And let's see how this middle lane is going to turn out between Nisha on this Viper. I mean, he's just been spamming Viper throughout this tournament whenever it's actually being given to him. So, dirty Viper picker, yes, but we do see an engage here onto the Lich. Lich is in quite a bit of trouble. There is, of course, a chilling touch. One more hit needed. They don't go in, and the Viper, he's just farming away. He did not push up forward, did not get any kind of right click down. This will mean that top lane, Venno does drop. I had to focus either mid or top. Sorry about that one. Getting the first blood here on Sexy Bamboo this time. That will actually give him a very good start. How did that happen? Battery assault into Iron Shell. I mean, that's just ridiculous. That's sort of like the old school Slardar, you know, getting that stun, getting those bashes off with the Iron Shell. It's just ridiculous. And Venno has to be careful here. He's only level 1, does not have his level 2 up, so does not have any kind of slow to move in with that. I have to be a little bit more awake this game because there's kills that could be coming from anywhere. Bottom lane, top lane, mid lane. And level 2 Plague Ward is up right now, and we might see another wraparound here from Clockwork. There you go. Battery Assault is up right now. Will the Cogs be there as well? Cogs trap up Patos. Will they be able to actually get the kill? There's 2. Yeah, oh, no, they don't. Could not actually get in range for some reason with that Darkseer second Iron Shell, and Patos just heals himself up completely. Middle lane, let's see how this is going between Nisha and Kaser. 12-6 versus 10-0. The problem is Nisha will just, to be honest, start bullying out the Ember Spirit in this middle lane as, you know, he gets a couple of levels up. You know, considering the level 4, level 5 mark here for the Viper, as soon as he gets a level up in Corrosive Skin, we'll be able to do even more damage, considering Ember Spirit will have his Flame Guard up as well. But we do see an engagement here on the bottom lane. Let's see where this goes towards. Trying to get a kill onto the Lich. Who's it going to be? Lich or Ancient Apparition? They do not. Second time the Reality Rift actually does not hit. But there you go. The stun's going to come through onto the Lich, and this is going to be the end of Lich. One more hit needed. Exotic Deer getting that kill. So 1-for-1 trade-off between Kinguin as well as HellRaisers. In total, I mean, not during that one fight. But getting a kill here for the Chaos Knight will help him get his boots up quite soon, or quite early up. And I've been casting now for a couple of hours. I'm trying to think on what to say. Would it be nice to have a co-cast here? Unfortunately, the co-caster could not make it earlier, so sorry about that one, guys. Hope you're at least enjoying these casts. And as always, let me know on chat or in DM what you guys think. Faceless Void, taking quite a bit of harassment here. It's, you know, it seems like they're all over the place here between top lane, middle lane, bottom lane. But we do see Viper nearing that level 6. And as soon as he gets that level 6, he already has his Ring of Aquila up. Looking towards the last hit. It's currently 30-0-13. This Viper just dominating once again. We saw Nisha doing this in game 1, I think it was, versus Mousesports. Him just getting off to this, you know, early lead and just putting so much pressure on the side of Mousesports. Can he do the same up against HellRaisers? Well, let's have a look. On the offlane, well, offlane slash both these safe lanes, 19-12 versus 9-0 up here for the Faceless Void. So Faceless Void not having the easiest time in this lane, but we do see a kill here. Rubik does drop here. That was, of course, a Clockwork with level 2 Battery Assault. That's just ridiculous. Level 2 Battery Assault and Haste. Basically, you'll be able to kill off any supports. I mean, you can't really do much against that. So, CK currently sitting on level 3 with Faceless Void, at least having the experience advantage there. HR having the experience advantage versus the net worth up for Kinguin. We spoke about this. If you can at least get the experience advantage of around the 10-minute mark, you can offset if you are behind in regards with net worth, because you will be able to get your talents up earlier. You will be able to get your level 6s up earlier on the heroes that you needed. And with the likes of, why does my mouse keep on jumping? With the likes of a Lich, if you get a earlier level 6 up to try and combo up with your Faceless Void, it is going to help out quite a bit. But we do see a run in here onto the Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit does literally just got a 6. So managed to get out of that one. That was like one creep. He got a 6 and he managed to get his replicate down. But Milan coming in. He is currently sitting on level 3 right now. 2 levels up in Battery Assault. And just showing himself there. Making Nisha know, listen, I am here. If you push in too far, I will be able to counter this. And Patos though. Patos also doing quite well despite the early death up for him. Sitting on 37 and 6. Tied up with Sexy Bambo on the docks here as well. I'm just trying to figure out where's the next death going to be coming from. It's going to be difficult for Nisha to actually get a kill now onto Kaiser on the Earth Spirit, on the Ember Spirit, since Ember Spirit does have his 6-up, does have his remnants down. Not going to be the easiest thing in the world. They'll need to try and chain stun him quite a bit. And there you go, 2 levels have been put into Corrosive Skin like we thought, and just look at the amount of damage that it actually does onto the Ember Spirit. Ember does drop down a remnant. Oh. Rubik, why you run this way, buddy? Getting scouts out there, even though Rubik was invised up. So Earth Spirit will know that, hey, there's a possibility, a big possibility that the Rubik is there middle. He did have invis up. And are we going to see a smoke? Well, there's 2 smokes up here for the side of Kinguin. Are they going to use it to try and get a kill onto 33 here on the Faceless Void? He does not have Chrono, but I don't think they have enough damage to actually kill him before he can time walk out. The big one is this Ember Spirit, and he's taking quite a bit of damage here from the creeps. Will they go in? Will they be able to get the stun? There's the initial lift as well as the stun coming through, and Ember Spirit just gets critted down. Exotic Deer getting that kill. This will be a tier 1 tower, or at least a glyph being popped up here. There's the first glyph coming through. Will they be able to get the kill? I did not. Oh, they will be able to get this tower down. Yeah, I just thought someone might have died on the bottom lane for some reason. And the first tier 3 tower going the way of Kinguin. Kinguin actually playing very well here, considering they lost to HellRaisers 2-0, I think it was maybe a week ago, or during the qualifiers previously. HellRaisers have been playing tremendously well, going all the way through to the winner bracket. Winner bracket final, winning that, going through to the grand final. And Kinguin being dropped down to the lower bracket by HellRaisers quite a while ago. And HellRaisers having to fight through, and actually having to fight through the likes of Mousesports as well. And Sexy Bambo. Can he actually... Well, that's an early level up in his wall, but there's the lift through, and here comes Venom Monster. Will they be able to get a kill on him? He just actually pushes himself away, runs back through the wall, and TP's out. Easy one there for the dogs here, but getting that early level up in wall means they want to try and fight. They want to try and get a Viper Corrosive Skin illusion just to try and bully the Viper back. And with this Viper starting off very strong, let's have a quick look. It's around 9 minutes in. The net worth 4,500 up for the Viper, up against poor little Kaiser on the Ember Spirit 2,500. So a full 2,000 net worth advantage between the 2 different mid players, which is quite significant. The big thing though here, Sexy Bambo on the docks here, actually doing quite well for himself, sitting pretty much tied up with the CK, and CK might be in a lot of trouble himself here. He just gets completely controlled up here with the Clockwork. Clockwork might want to go in for a bit more, but no level 6 up on the Rubik just yet, so can't really do much about that. And getting that kill pushes the Dogs here ahead of the Chaos Knight. I mean, Chaos Knight had a good start, had a good farm on this offlane wall, sitting on 3,500, but 4,000 net worth up for this Dogs here, and that means he will be building up towards that full pipe pretty soon. And let's see if the dive is going to be here. Faceless Void does have a 6 up, so Kinguin have to be very careful here. And more TPs coming in for the side of HR. They want to move in. There's the surge. There's, of course, a vac. Only a level 1 vac and a level 1 wall, but level 3 Iron Shell up. Are we going to see a wraparound here for the side of HR? Full 5-man rotation. Not a 5-man rotation. 4-man rotation here. And will they catch anyone on the retreat? Nope. They just back out. They did get scouted out. Good observer ward being planted down. And 6 is up here. Can this 6... Not quite sure if the Clockwork can actually kill the Chaos Knight by himself. Chaos Knight does not have his omelet up just yet. So he is quite soft, but does have his full treads up as well as a small little stout shield. TP's coming in. That's what they needed. Ember Spirit in with a Iron Shell up. Are they going to move in forward, trying to get the kill onto anyone? There's the Clockwork hookshot coming in. I heard it miss. Hookshotted, maybe the hookshot landed straight in onto the Ember Spirit. Not quite sure what happened there. So not a lot happening right now. Only 5 kills up, by 11 minutes. Kinguin still only sitting with, they started off very well, getting a couple of kills, pushing it to over 2,000 net worth lead. Experience in HR's favor, and only around 1,000 in net worth. And considering that 1,000 is just between Nisha and Sexy Bamboo on the docks here, it's not that, it's not that impressive. Nisha started off extremely well. Looking at the last hits, sitting on 101 last hits and 30 denies. So he did very well in the middle lane. However, they haven't been able to capitalize much off this. HR playing very well, keeping the pressure off them here from the side of Kinguin. And bottom tower has taken a little bit of harassment here, sitting on just under half HP at this point. I'm not quite sure where the next big fight is going to be coming from. There's a smoke up here. Once again, there's docks here, and the Clockwork rotations have been on point. They've been, getting a couple of kills. The Clockwork sitting on 2-0-1. Docks here 1-0-1 as well. And let's have a look. Chaos Knight might be in quite a bit of trouble. Is this going to be a hookshot straight in onto the CK? CK will be able to get his Phantasm off, but will it be enough? The hook, well, the vacuum is there, the wall is there, and just so much damage. The counters coming through here from Kinguin. Can they actually do anything about this? Unfortunately not. They have to back out. Omelet still not up for the CK. Could not survive long enough for his team to get there. And that's just going to be a freebie, going the way of HR. And looking at the net worth, that's going to bring it down to under 1,000. So very well played. And bottom lane as well. Veno, did he get the tower at least? Yeah, Veno got the tower. So he got the tower. He lost after that, or he dropped after that. It's an even trade-ish. But because of that, giving it for the first time in this game, not considering the first minute or two, in favor of HellRaisers. They do take the experience lead, or they've had the experience lead the entire game, and they've just taken up the gold lead as well. So HellRaisers doing everything they need to, and I'm quite surprised that Kinguin are not playing the same that they played in game number 2. This is exactly, this is the way they played in game 1. Played passive, tried to farm up, and HellRaisers were just active the whole time. Game number 2, Kinguin were the ones that were active, the ones that were aggressive, the ones that were fighting into HellRaisers, the ones that were, getting the smoke ganks off, trying to force the fights, keeping the pressure on the enemy team. And they won this time. Of course, it's HellRaisers doing exactly that. There's a Cogs, back into Cogs once again onto the CK. CK's in a lot of trouble. Hookshot coming in onto Nisha on the Viper. Viper might be in a lot of trouble himself, but Patos is coming in. There is no Poison Nova. I think that might have been used a little bit earlier. The Viper is still alive, but not for long. Do they actually manage to get anyone in trade? Patos gets a double kill for that, so it's a 2-for-2 trade-off. Well, it might just be a 2-for-3 trade-off. Venomonster not actually getting that final. Oh, there you go. Triple kill up here for Patos. So he did manage to actually get a good Poison Nova down onto everyone. Now trying to get a ultra kill. Will he be able to actually get this? There you go. Another Plague Ward down, but the pipe is there from the Darkshire. Darkshire will be able to get out of this one. So it's a 3-for-3 trade-off with the triple kill going the way of Patos. But looking at this, it's a pretty even fight all around. XP and gold only a little bit in favor of HellRaisers, so good fight all around for both the two teams. Looking at HellRaisers though, they did not lose the Faceless Void, which in turn Kinguin, they lost their Viper and they lost their CK. CK is really struggling to find form currently. Sure, he's ahead in regards with net worth versus Kaiser, but having this omelet up right now, this is going to help him actually stay alive a little bit longer and, you know, survive that initial burst, survive that initial clockwork hook, hook into cogs, into vac, into wall, into burst coming through from the remnants from the Ember Spirit. But let's have a look and see. We do see a smoke coming through here from the side of Kinguin. Let's see if they can actually find anyone or catch anyone off guard. But it seems like HellRaisers, they know something's up. They just decide to back off, smoke up by themselves as well. Don't scout out anyone just yet. Where the line's being drawn, this might actually be straight on to Kazor, and yeah. Oh, he actually manages to, no, he will get hook shotted upon, and that's the clockwork cogs. However, he actually manages to leap himself, to time walk his way out of that. And is this going to be a counter engage? Patos does have his poison over, does catch on to two heroes. Milan might be in a lot of trouble here with the clockwork. Clockwork does drop, so the only hero to drop after that fight is the clockwork. And are we going to see a rush do? Nope, I don't think they actually have the heroes to take this. So a little bit of back and forth going, back and forth momentum going through here between the side of HellRaisers as well as Kinguin. Looking at the net worth, around 2,000. Then it was a, oh wait, no, before we look at that, Rubik, you might be in a lot of trouble right now. There's the jump in forward. Once again, the time leap. Is it going to be enough to actually, no, it's not. I was about to get happy for him, but poor little Rubik. Even with time walk, not really going to help much. And yeah, like we're saying, looking at the net worth, it's been jumping up back and forth quite a bit. 2,000 in Kinguin's favor, all the way back to a couple hundred in HL's favor, now back to just under 2,000 again in Kinguin's favor. Experience still in HL's favor, but not by much. And they want to go in, they want to jump in onto Veno. Veno does not have his ultimate, but the Ancient Apparition ultimate flying through, it just can't combo with anything from the Veno. Veno does not have his poison over. So the AA Veno, you know, insane damage combo coming through was not enough there. Seems like we might be in for a long game coming through here. Exotic Deer trying to go in on, you know, 1v1 up against the Clockwork. And yeah, Clockwork, oh, well, yeah, he actually might drop from this. Clockwork won't be able to, yeah, he will be able to get out of that. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Clockwork can't 1v1 the CK, that's what I wanted to say. And then the Chronosphere coming through, getting that easy kill, quick kill for them, and that might just put it back in favor of HellRaisers. Quickly take a sip of water here before the next team fight starts, because that is going to happen quite soon. Rubik, why did Rubik still here? Was the Fire Remnant, so Rubik can actually be a little bit more aggressive, jump in forward if he needs to.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Let's have a quick look here once again. Kinguin decide to back off and farm. There is a full Maelstrom up here for the Viper, as well as the Dragon Lance pulling into that Hurricane Pike. As soon as he gets that Hurricane Pike, the likes of the Lich, you know, has to be very careful, because Lich can get chowed through by a Viper pretty fast. 4 shots and you're dead. The other 4 heroes from HellRaisers are quite tanky, but still, it's not going to be enough. This Viper is going to be putting out a lot of damage, and as soon as the CK can get a couple items up just to tank himself up, it's going to be very difficult for the side of HellRaisers to actually do anything. However, Ember Spirit does have his Boots of Travel up right now, so that's going to allow HR to split push up a little bit more, gain a little bit more map control, start farming in, and, you know, getting that back. I also saw a Shadow Blade being picked up here from the Faceless Void. This will allow them to get that initiation, get that jump off, you know, without Kinguin seeing, getting that perfect chrono, 3 or 4 man chronos up as well. So a couple of key items coming up here for the side of HellRaisers. And are we going to see them push or move in forward? Do we have any smoke up with anyone? No smokes. And it just seems like everyone is content with farming up right now. Viper has his 4-star up. 500 gold, then he will have his full Hurricane Pike up. However, he might get caught out. He is TPing out, and they will not catch him there. Faceless Void not being in range to actually get that, get that Chronosphere up. Choosing to pick up the Shadow Blade instead of a Blink Dagger there, so not having that quick jump in. Let's have a quick look at the item progression here. Lich sitting bottom of his team's net worth. Oh, we did see a kill here. Where was that? That was on the, that was on middle lane. On the Rubik, and Ancient Apparition ultimate flying through mid. It does actually hit. Now they're trying to go onto the Clockwork. Clockwork does force off himself away from that, and he will get out. So Nisha, even though Nisha does a lot of damage, it was not enough. The problem here with the Viper is, sure, Vipers do a lot of damage, but there's no lockdown. So you can just start TPing out. And if you have at least a little bit of HP or a little bit of tankiness, like a Clockwork does in regards with, say, being 1,500 HP, you'll always be able to TP out. But Faceless Void comes in, Ancient, not the Ancient Apparition, Lich ulti also flying through. 2 ultis being dropped here onto both of these heroes. Are we going to see any kind of counter engage? Exotic Deer is going to be coming in. He wants to go in onto the Lich. That's 2 heroes, 3 heroes here caught off with the Veno ult. But the TP is coming in. They aren't going to push up further. So once again, HR getting the better of that trade. And no TP up from the Viper. Couldn't TP in to actually help his teammates out there. It seems like Kinguin have the aggressive lineup. They have everything they need to try and play aggressive into HellRaisers. But HellRaisers are just outplaying them at this point and gaining the control back ever so slightly. But this is the big item that we've been waiting for. The Hurricane Pike is up. Instantly smoke movement for the side of Kinguin. Let's see if they can actually get a kill here. Are they going to waste this? Well, not waste the smoke, but use the smoke on only the Clockwork, or are they going to try and get a kill onto the likes of the Ember Spirit? It seems like the lines have been drawn towards the bottom lane. Nope, just a TP in, and yeah, that's going to be Darkseer. Just goodbye, good night, and sweet dreams. So sure, they didn't get much done, like 2 or 3 kills with that smoke. No big team fight coming through, but without the Darkseer there, it does open up the map a little bit for them, knowing that there's no vac into cogs combo, there's no vac into wall combo coming through, so they can play a little bit more aggressively. As you can see here, Rubik positioning himself quite deep in ahead of the CK, just to make sure he can protect himself. And this might be a tier 2 tower that they're eyeing. CK building up towards that BKB, does have a full Echo Saber as well as armlet up. Ember Spirit, Boots of Travel, and Veil building towards a BKB, not a BKB, a Maelstrom up right now. I mean, we'll have this Maelstrom up. If we look at the previous game, the Ember, I think, went in for a Radiant. This time going in for the BKB, trying to be involved in the fights quite a bit more, trying to stop the poison damage coming through as well. Even though he does, of course, have his own Flame Guard, it doesn't seem to be enough. So getting the Maelstrom up will allow him to push up. Sorry, that wasn't the BKB, that was a Maelstrom. Wow. I literally said it was a Maelstrom, then I clicked on this, so it was a BKB, and then, yeah, but here we go. Engagement in from the Faceless Void in there. There's a big back wall into 2 heroes. There's a Chain Frost coming through as well. The instant TP off, but unfortunately, Kinguin, they can't really do anything much from this. But here comes the counter engage from Exotic Deer. Does manage to get the pick off onto the Chronosphere. There was a big stolen Chronosphere coming through here from the side of the Rubik, and can they actually do more? Exotic Deer, he is trying to move forward, but he can't actually get past the wall, so it's a 2-for-2 trade-off, and they might just try and get a little bit more here. Veno might be in a bit of trouble. I need to try and focus on those team fights. When those team fights happen, and Ancient Apparition ultimate flying through doesn't clip, but it's still going to be okay. That's a 3-for-2 trade-off. An amazing start coming through here for the side of HellRaisers. They actually managed to get a good engage. The vac into wall, into Chronosphere, into Chain Frost was there, but it was only onto 2 or 3 heroes. And the CK, I mean, the CK just did so much damage. Managing to kill a couple of heroes there, but let's have a look. There you go. Ember Spirit, Maelstrom's up. Will actually allow him to push out a little bit faster, get more magical damage down onto the side of Kinguin. And yeah, Faceless Void, building up towards that BKB. That's what I was looking at before when I said, yeah, he needs to get that BKB, but that was the Faceless Void. So, whoa. What happened there with the camera work? Let's quickly just make one quick change here in regards with the camera work, camera speed. Let's just get that down. There you go. And let's see. Camera work should be a little bit better now. Let's look at top lane. Top tier 1 tower is still here. So Viper just busy attacking it. He of course does have a full Maelstrom up working towards that BKB, as well as a Hurricane Pike just constantly chipping out towards that tower. Sitting 2,000 net worth ahead of the Ember Spirit. I mean, Viper, you know, we all know Vipers need to steamroll. Vipers need to be ahead. They need to play from ahead. And currently the Viper is ahead. He's doing a lot. Kinguin, I mean, if you have a look at the previous fight, that is sort of what helped them out. Between the Viper as well as the CK, they managed to do a lot of damage, even though the initial engagement was there. Perfect engagement coming through from HellRaisers. They managed to actually get the kill onto the Viper, but they also, you know, needed to blow a lot onto the Viper just to ensure that kill. And that, of course, left the CK open completely. Let's see what Kinguin can do right now. We do see lines being drawn out. It's a 4-man rotation up here for the side of HellRaisers. They're busy wrapping around. Faceless Void. Is he going to just jump in, go YOLO on this? He does, of course, have his Shadow Blade up. Let's have a look. Previously, the Chronosphere was stolen there by the Rubik. Of course, Rubik did, I think, die after that, so it doesn't have that. And, of course, did not have the Viper to output the damage after the Chrono was there. The Chrono was more just used for some kind, well, for a disengage during the previous fight. Venos building up towards that Aghanim Scepter. Pipe into Aghanim Scepter, not bad. This Veno will be quite tanky, and hey, as long as Veno gets his ulti off as well as the pipe off and a couple of right clicks, he'll be okay with this. Bottom lane, Viper does have a TP if he needs to TP up towards the top, but seems like they're going to be sacking this tier 2 tower. Are they going to try and at least get a counter tier 2 in exchange? There is a glyph up here for the side of HellRaisers if they decide to use it. Tier 2 tower has dropped. And Nisha, he's busy chipping away at the tier 2 tower. Is this going to be a glyph used? Nope. Tier 2 for a tier 2 in exchange. And let's see, what can HR do? Do they have enough damage to actually take a rush fight, or to try and just take rush? It's going to be a very slow rush, and that's going to be problematic because Kinguin can actually come in, steal that, get a good Ancient Apparition ulti off, as well as a good Venom ulti off. So rush is very dangerous for HR to actually go for. But I do feel that Kinguin can actually take rush quite easily if they just move in forward with ulti, or not necessarily the ulti from the CK, but with the CK, the amount of damage that the CK can do, the crits, as well as the Viper coming through, they might be able to actually get rush quite fast. Well, a lot faster than the side of HR can. But HR, they decide to move in forward. They do have an Ember Spirit that can TP in 30 seconds, but it seems like they want to play aggressive right now. There's a Shadow Blade up on the Faceless Void, just moving into farming yet again. Both these two teams, it's been an extremely close game. I mean, have a look at the net worth. It's been up and down. 2k in Kinguin's favor. Then it's been even. Then it's been just over a K in favor of HR. Now it's just over a K in favor of Kinguin yet again. So let's see. They might want to move in. Will they be able to get the jump here onto the Viper? And there you go. Viper gets scouted out. Is he just going to move in forward from this? They do see two heroes. There's a good chrono coming through, catching it onto two heroes. But I think that was another chrono stolen here for the Rubik. Rubik moves it towards the backline, gets a good chrono off, stops the engager from the clock, and that's going to be the call for Kinguin to move in forward. They do get a kill onto the Faceless Void. They don't lose anyone in exchange, and this might just be the call for them to move into Rush. Very well played yet again. Rubik stealing Chrono, stopping the counter engage from the Clockwork, stopping the hook shot, stopping the cogs from splitting up the fight. And very well played. Yet again, Rubik getting the perfect steals off. And the TP in towards the bottom lane, just trying to secure this tier 2 tower. This is, of course, Nisha getting the Aegis yet again and boosting them up to the highest point, well, the most net worth that they've had since the beginning of the game, sitting on 3k experience, around the 6k mark. So Kinguin now starting to take the lead. It's taken them 30 minutes, but what are they going to do with this? The BKB is up for the Viper. It is a 10-second BKB. Are we going to see a full 5-man push coming through? They do have the Poison Nova. It is a level 3 Poison Nova as well. They do have the Aghanim Scepter up on the Venom Monster as well. Everything seems to be coming up here for the side of Kinguin, and let's see. This TP. I was just about to say, why are you TPing in towards top? Exotic Deer gets the kill himself, and there you go. Aghanim Scepter. I thought Aghanim Scepter was coming. Oh, there you go. Coming in. There you go. Aghanim. Okay, that's like the 4th time that I've said. There you go. Aghanim Scepter is up for the Venom. Let's have a look. Tier 3 tower being pressured here for Kinguin. Kinguin looking extremely strong right now. Viper has the Aegis, has a 10-second BKB if they do decide to jump him. However, HR doing what HR needs to. They're going to try and at least get a counteract, or at least a counter tier 3 tower here in exchange for theirs. And Faceless Void can actually do this. He's busy hitting extremely hard. Are they going to... There's no glyph. So, forcing out a TP rotation coming in here for Exotic Deer. Is this a smoke push up for HR? No, just a standard push in forward. No tier 3 is being taken. Kinguin playing it quite safe. Considering that there were a couple of heroes here towards the bottom lane for the side of HR. They could have stayed and fought. Not having vision there. I mean, yeah, sure. They don't know that, so. CK, 9-second BKB up, building up towards that heart. We'll have the heart in a couple, well, probably like a minute from now if he doesn't want buyback. And hook shot in. Oh, big plays coming in from the Clockwork. Getting the hook shot and insta TP, but it's not going to be enough. Ancient Apparition ulti finishes him off. No healing, no nothing, and Viper might actually even scout out the dogs here, and yeah, good night, sweet prince, you're dead. Sexy Bambo. He has buyback if he needs. Looking at the Clockwork. Clockwork does not have buyback. We did see a pickoff here on the bottom lane. Venom Monster drops his ulti as well, and it seems like Nisha's just pushing up towards this tier 3 tower. He is alone, does have a Aegis of the Immortal. Ancient Apparition ultimates flying through, hoping that someone would actually push in. Now going in for that melee racks or melee racks. The buyback is there from the Darkshire. No buyback is up on the Clockwork, but that's 3 seconds still. And there you go. There's the back into the wall. Are we going to see the Chronosphere? Chronosphere. There is no Chronosphere. I think that was used on the bottom lane. There's the hook shot onto the Viper. Viper taking quite a bit of damage. Still has his BKB if he needs it. The Aegis was just popped. He does force off himself away. That is still a tier 3 tower that has fallen. Considering so many ultis were used, you might just see them engage. There you go. Insta smoke. This is the smoke back, the fake back. Let's see if they can go in. There's the blink in forward from the Rubik, going in straight onto the Ember Spirit. Unfortunately, no follow up on top of that. And this might just be them saying, let's retreat.
Radiant's top shrine is under attack. Radiant's bottom shrine is under attack.
Ancient Apparition busy moving in towards top. They might scout out the Ember Spirit, but Ember of course does have a remnant, but he decides to go in forward and just jumps out. He'll be okay. Bottom shrine is under attack right now. So many illusions. CK of course not having a... Wait, where's the CK? There's the CK. not having a Manta or anything like that to try and bolster his illusion army at this point. Just going in for that pure tank build, BKB up, Heart of Tarrasque up, Armlets up as well. So trying to go for that man mode, that man fight CK itself. And will they be able to actually get the jump lift this time onto the Ember Spirit? They did not manage to get the full combo up previously. And 35 minutes in right now. This game can go either way. However, Kinguin have gathered a significant lead, sitting on around 9,000. At 35 minutes, that's not that much. I mean, you can easily come back from that. That is one bad team fight away of basically drawing even again. Experience sitting at around 10,000 as well. So, experience and gold nearing that 10,000 mark. Looking at Kinguin, they can take the fights if they want to. They're most likely just scared of the ultis and the wombo coming through from HellRaisers, trying to find a hero to pick off. HellRaisers just constantly split pushing up, falling back. They do have the Ember Spirit with the remnants down, like he's doing right now. He moves in forward, clears the creep wave up, and just gets out. Same thing with top lane. They do have the Faceless Void there as well. There is no Maelstrom up on the Faceless Void, so he's just attacking normal, but let's see, Faceless Void. Is there any gem here? No gem up for the side of Kinguin. So the scan actually hit up onto the Darks here, and we do see a jump in forward here for Faceless Void. Faceless Void does get out of that as well. So lots of poking, lots of prodding, lots of back and forth, but well, no kills coming through from anything just yet. And Nisha. Let's have a quick look at the item progression coming through from the top farmers in this game. Viper currently sitting with a full Mjolnir up as well, building up towards that heart as I mean, this heart's going to be up probably in the next 2 minutes, depending on buyback. You will still need buyback, so around 5 minutes you'll have a full heart up as well, which is pretty damn impressive and scary. CK has his full heart up, building up towards that MKB just to make sure that they get past any kind of armor, any kind of evasion, any kind of anything that actually gets thrown at them. Those are the top two for the side of Kinguin. Keep in mind, Venomarch is also there, full pipe as well as Blink and Aghanim Scepter. For the side of HR, Faceless Void. I mean, he's sitting pretty rough at this point, only with 12,500 net worth. Shadowblade, BKB, as well as Mask of Madness. Not really the best farm that you would want on a core on your carry Faceless Void. Ember Spirit at least doing quite well, keeping up with the likes of the CK. He will have his, well, he already has his Mjolnir up as well, building up towards his Octarine core as well. Does have a soul booster up, waiting for that Mystic Staff. And then the last core on the Clockwork, he will be going for that halberd, and sure, that halberd will be nice up against the CK, but the problem is CK is already going to have his full sorry, I'm busy blanking because I'm thinking of multiple different things. He will have his full Monkey King bar up as well, so it's not really going to help out that much. Viper deciding to opt in for a full heart directly. He's like, screw buyback, I don't need buyback, let's just go straight with this. And is this going to be the call for them to push? They are 10k up at this point, and I do like what HR is doing. HR is keeping the lanes where Kinguin's not pushed in as much as possible, because they know Kinguin's going to be pushing in. Kinguin's going to be trying to go for that extra tier 3 tower, trying to go in for that Drax. And as soon as they do that, they're going to try and at least counter with their own lane of Drax. Look at this. Keeping the lane pushed in way before Kinguin can even keep their lanes pushed in as well. So seems like the name of the game right now is farming. Let's have a quick look at the buyback status, because, well, this could actually mean game, or, you know, win a game for, or lose a game for any one of these two teams. No buyback up here on Sexy Bambo, no buyback up here on Nisha. I mean, this is quite big. If they manage to jump Nisha right now and actually get a kill on Nisha, HR has pretty much won the game. But do they know that? Yes, no, I don't think so. There's a smoke up here for the side of Kinguin. Let's have a look and see. They draw a line down. No lines, but Rosh is up. And is this going to be scouted out? Rosh is scouted out as well as Clockwork. Clockwork is in a lot of trouble right now. Clockwork gets lifted and bye-bye. Good night yet again. Double damage ruin, and this will just be Rosh. This will be, of course, Aegis as well as Cheese. And with this, we might just see Kinguin just bully their way down middle. I mean, they are looking quite strong. They have a significant lead. And 33 trying to push out the lane as much as possible, trying to get as much gold as possible as well, trying to finish up that Assault Kuros. Ancient Apparition ultimate flying through. Did anything actually hit? Yeah, everything hit onto Faceless Void, but they don't have enough. This did, however, give them the Aegis, the Cheese as well, up on the CK. Sure, there's no AA ult, there's no Veno ult, but hey, 40 seconds. Then Veno ult's back. Veno does have his ultimate as well. He does have his Aghanim Scepter up, so let's have a look. Is the push going to be down middle lane, down top lane? There's a push in from Ember Spirit on the top. What was stolen? Oh, nothing. I thought Rubik tried to steal something coming through there. Or he just used Fade Bolt, I think. Is this going to be a group up coming in for the side of Kinguin? Or are they just going to move back and farm some more? "40-minute game, only around 31 kills happening so far. Looking at the, there's been a few good team fights coming through right now, but both these two teams, keep in mind this is game 3. So whoever loses here, of course, falls out, drops out, and whoever wins here are the winners for the, oh wait, no engagement coming through. Are the winners for the Perfect World Masters European or EU qualifiers. There's a vac wall, only hitting onto only onto the CK. And Nisha, well, he's turning around. He wants to go in onto the Ember Spirit right now. Staffs himself forward. There's Ancient Apparition ultimate actually hits onto 2 heroes right now. Nisha, though, is in a bit of a pickle at this point. He pushed in a little bit too far, but hey, he's just farming his own illusions at this point. The heart will come into effect very soon. And he'll be able to heal himself up pretty much all the way full. I heard something happening. Nope. Just a TP in top here from the Ember Spirit, trying to push out onto the tier 3, and that might just be what they need. Nisha, of course, pushing it forward once again onto the high ground. They want to get the kill or the melee racks here first of all, but will they actually be able to? There is, well, no backdoor regen up just yet, but a little bit of regen coming through here. He forced off himself in. No, Viper was actually forced off in. There comes the Ancient Apparition ultimate. Will that actually hit onto anyone? 3 heroes get caught by this. Will they get the racks? Not yet. The glyph is actually used. And once again, Viper, he forced off himself in that time. The BKB is used. Keep in mind, he does have Aegis. That is the first buyback used up on the clock. However, they did manage to get the melee racks. So, good. Well, Nisha. He'll be okay. So, first lane of racks falling. And it is in favor of Kinguin. Keep in mind, that did cost them a buyback as well. So, 14k net worth in favor for Kinguin. They will just decide to back off after this. They still have the Aegis though. They still have the cheese if they want to move in towards the bottom lane next. The problem HR have, and I mentioned this in the beginning, is where is the damage going to come from? Sure, Ember Spirit does quite a bit of damage with the Searing Chains. It's the Mage Bolt. But after the initial jump, where is the rest of the damage? Faceless Void. Currently sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th from the top regards of net worth, sitting below the Veno. Sure, he does have a small crit. He doesn't really have a lot much after that. Where's the damage coming from the side of Kinguin? In regards with killing a Viper that has Aegis, so killing a Viper twice, and killing a CK that has cheese. 2 hearts up as well. And there you go. They're just deciding to go for top, trying to catch out someone, and just going to be free damage that the side of Kinguin can do onto this tier 3 tower. And let's see, are we going to see an engage coming through here? There's the back wall into only 2 heroes right now. Milan catching, unfortunately, no one. Exotic Deer, there's the Lich ultimate bouncing as well through onto all the illusions, all the creeps, but it's not really doing anything. Faces Void, he's trying to get a good Chronosphere off, but good positioning coming through here for the side of Kinguin, keeping everyone split up. BKB being used onto the CK. They do manage to get a good Chrono off onto 2 heroes. However, a Chrono was stolen once again onto the Darks here, and there's another buyback here. The kill was onto the Ember Spirit. No one has fallen yet for the side of Kinguin, and not even the Aegis has been popped here on Nisha. Nisha's just standing there doing so much damage. Still sitting on pretty much full HP, even though they tried to throw everything at him as well as the kitchen sink. But that kitchen sink just exploded. Now they want to try to go in. There's the BKB up on the Viper. Viper is TPing out, and he will be able to make it. That's 2 rags down here. Kinguin, well, will they be able to get out of this? Unfortunately, Rubik, he might actually drop from this. No, Ancient Apparition ultimate flying through onto 2 heroes right now. Petros trying to do as much as possible. If they get the kill onto the Ember Spirit, this might be a dieback from him. And fortunately, fortunately for himself, he manages to get out of that one. But Exotic Deer just going and right-clicking like crazy here onto the Clockwork. Well, so much has actually happened. Yet again, another Lich ultimate has flown through. That's 2 Lich ultimates that's actually come through. And Patros, he does fall towards the end of that. Triple kill here for Exotic Deer, and this is going to be an ultra kill here for Exotic Deer. That's so many buybacks coming through. Will Exotic Deer actually be able to get a rampage up here? This is, of course, Kizer. He wants some more. He wants to go on, and there's no crits coming through just yet. There's a stun all the way flying through, and is this going to be a Chronosphere up? Chronosphere is not up just yet. There's another back wall. This might be the second or the third one for this entire fight. But Patos has come through yet again with the Venom ulti, doing quite a bit of damage. Can they actually get another kill here? That is going to be a Darkseer that will fall from this, depending on how much he's healing. And Ancient Apparition ultimate flying through onto 2 heroes. That just might be good game. Well played. Kinguin getting that win. Completely schooling the likes of HR towards that extremely long, drawn-out fight. I need a breath. I need water. I need food. I need a beer. Kinguin taking that. I mean, making up for the lack of aggression, lack of anything seeming to happen throughout the entire game for like a full 2-minute duration team fight. Buybacks galore, ultis galore, cooldowns coming off, being used again, taking mid racks, taking bottom racks. Congratulations to Team Kinguin. And I think the South American scene, the team that came through the loser bracket, also managed to actually win. Same thing happening here. The team that came through the loser bracket, the underdogs, actually taking it 3-2, not 3-2, 2-1. Congratulations to Team Kinguin. And yet again, this time it wasn't really Nisha that dominated as much. Of course, starting off with a very early lead. Look at that net worth all the way on top. Nisha did extremely well. Look, the amount of damage that Nisha did was significant, but CK as well in his own right doing a lot of damage, getting a lot of the kills, and Patos on this Venom monster sitting with 33,000 damage done. Congratulations to both teams, guys. I'm not going to talk too much about this. I'm not going to go too much into detail. You guys can watch the replays. You guys can have a look at the graphs, have a look at the levels, have a look at the items, etc., etc. I'm Reddit. Congratulations to Team Kinguin beating HellRaisers 2-1 in the Perfect World Masters European Final. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in Twitch chat shortly. Cheers.